You don't have to spend a fortune to look like $1,000,000. Even if I'm casual, my clothes are never not ironed.
How much effort does it take for you to do this mindfully?
There are some days when I feel like, I want to take it easy. I just want to step out and I don't care. But then I'm like, no, I just go back and I change because I feel it should be true to what I'm doing.
I'm like very tired. I've just come back from travel. I invariably hide in a sari.
I feel like there's so much of investment that goes into a wedding. There shouldn't be a rule of wearing a red or a pink or an ivory. It should be what makes you feel.
Do you see a lot more brides wanting to kind of do it all by themselves, or do you see parents and grandmoms and everybody else?
Especially for the Muhurtam sari, I need a yes from 6-7 people. Even if the bride loves the sari, then I need the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the mother, the father, and sometimes it's nice, it's fun to watch that happen, but sometimes it's very irritating.
Bringing right back to personal styling, what would be few things that, say for example, somebody like me should ideally have in their wardrobe?
A capsule wardrobe is nothing but acts as a foundation to build upon other looks. So like say your 10-15 pieces in your wardrobe should be solid.
Tell us about travel styling.
People have to remember that they have to come back to Chennai. So investing in too many jackets is going to be like a waste of the investment. I don't recommend people buying Indian brands because
Hello and welcome back, and today we're going to be discussing a topic that we think about at times when we go for shopping, then we think about it when we wear what we shopped for, and then we promptly forget it. I'm talking about putting together your clothes for any event almost effortlessly. For some, this is a struggle when they're getting ready in the morning, but then when you come back and you forget about it completely, only to struggle again the next morning. So to sort out questions for you to reduce your morning struggle, I have with me personal stylist and bridal stylist and wardrobe consultant Mehndi Jashnani, who will talk to us about how you can struggle just a little less in getting ready for your day. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So let's dive straight into why are we so confused when putting together a wardrobe where we can just go in, pick up stuff and then move on. Why is it so difficult for some of us to get dressed and get styled? What are we missing?
So I think the main thing we're missing out here is recognizing what your personal style is. I feel we just go into the market, pick up whatever is trending, and sometimes it may work for us, sometimes it may not work for us, right? Even I've been a victim of it, blindly following trends or watching people wear a certain thing, and even I want to wear the same thing, but it doesn't work for everybody. I feel like, I always tell my clients that you don't have to spend a fortune to look like $1,000,000. You have to do it in a way that works for you, right? So basically understanding what your personal style is will give you a lot of insight about what to pick up and to make that wardrobe work for you, right? So you do this very easily in 5 steps. You open your wardrobe, you check out pieces that make you feel most confident in, right? It could be a color, it could be a fabric, it could be the kind of outfit that makes you feel very slim or very well put together. So understand what is common in those pieces, try to retain those pieces and try to throw out pieces that are not feel that same feeling, right?
I love how you make it sound so easy, but for some of us this coordination, putting together stuff can be a challenge. I religiously lay out my clothes the previous evening, only to wake up the next morning and say this is not good enough for today. Sometimes, and then the struggle starts afresh, and probably the most what I would call as a rate limiting step in my mornings.
Decision making.
Yes, the decision making.
Fatigue.
And if there's too much of fatigue, that the next 2 hours that hangover is still going to be there.
Right.
So I'll start with a very personal question of how difficult was it for you to style for somebody like me?
I'd say it's easy and difficult because you know very well what you want, and wanting to make you kind of get you off a little bit off that comfort zone and try something else is a little bit of challenge. Also because it's your profession and you need to be a certain way, which I truly understand, but I haven't lost hope. I still have a lot of hope.
I was shocked when I wore heels after decades, and I think people were we're pleasantly surprised to say, and you are literally the person behind me saying like, okay, let me just go and do this because it goes well with the outfit and goes well with how it's put together. We'll start with the basics.
Yeah.
We'll talk about body type first, how people need to choose according to their body type. If you can give us some simple tips that we can actually implement, that'd be great.
So there are 4 body types. There's a pear, there's apple, there is a rectangle, and there's hourglass. And so what you need to understand is everybody has a problematic area and everybody has an area to flatter, right? So when you're a pear-shaped body, obviously the dimensions of your lower body are larger than the dimensions of your upper body. Yes, you're a pear-shaped body. So in that case, what we do here is try to add on elevate your waistline, right? Try to highlight your waistline and also kind of give a symmetry to the upper body and the lower body. Once you do that, the lower body doesn't look too much in focus and it is balanced with the upper body. And you can do that with A-line skirts. You can do that with bell-bottom pants. We can avoid skinny pants. You can use a lot of flowy fabrics. You can use solid colors on the bottoms. You can avoid prints. For an apple-shaped body, the dimensions are, there is absolutely no waistline. So to add a waistline is something, again, we have to concentrate on using thinner belts. Not using too much embroidery on the upper body because the bust
can get heavy.
Yes, it can get heavy. So the bust will end up looking larger, right? So the legs are smaller here, more sleeker. So again, adding more volume to the bottom than on the top, avoiding ruffles on top, wider necklines look great. So, you know, thicker fabrics can be avoided. So when you understand your body, you can understand where you can play with. There's a lot of things you can play with. You don't have to really, you know, wait to go to the gym to lose weight and then start looking stylish. A lot of my clients want to do that. But I tell them once you start dressing up more confidently, you know, you'll automatically land up at the gym because you want to do better. So and
it's
then
a positive reinforcement because you understand what works for you and then you want to make it work that much more
exactly
better.
So it's a reverse sort of psychology. And then of course hourglass, everything really looks great because the proportions are good. Yeah. And then a rectangle shaped body, again you need to add a waist because it's sort of the shoulder, the waist and the hip are of same dimensions, so you need to add sort of you know, a waistline to it. Add a corset. Corsets look great. No baggy outfits. Using bell bottom pants, using lighter colors on the bottom, using more embroidery on top. So all these sort of small tips and tricks can really elevate the way you're dressing.
One question that I commonly get is, or which I actually see in practice, is also that people have sometimes a disproportionately larger or smaller face compared to the body.
Yes.
So sometimes what happens is the face looks larger, especially when they wear very tight outfits or when they don't show the width of the shoulder. So I keep telling them, like, if you actually, sometimes it's also posture.
Yeah.
But then the face tends to look very big and then the prints are also, what should somebody who has a slightly disproportionate face to the body ratio, what should they be looking at?
I think we should start with the haircut because haircut is really important. It can contour your face.
Haircut adds 70% to the appearance of the face.
Yes, so it is very important. People don't understand that. Then adding a bit of, you know, understanding a little bit of makeup, I feel, contouring your face a bit, all that can really add on to the way your face looks. Also using, you know, fabrics that are not too shiny because it reflects light, right, and your face will end up looking bigger.
That's a great insight.
Yeah.
We haven't really heard that or thought that way.
Yeah. So yeah, you can add radiance to your face by using fabrics that have a subtle sheen, but using those synthetic shiny fabrics are also going to end up highlighting texture on your face and uneven skin tone, right? So I think color reflection adds a lot in the way your you know, how uneven or even your skin ends up looking because of the colors you're choosing. So your face can look larger, contoured with the color choices.
Let's move right into color. Let's do undertones and colors right away.
Right. So undertones very important as much as body type. Understanding body type and dressing according to body type, undertones are equally important. Very easy way to find this out. Just look at your veins. If you have greenish sort of veins, then it's warm undertone, and if it's purple and blue, it's you're cool undertoned. And if you're a mix of both, you're not able to figure, then you're neutral. So most of the Indians, I feel, are neutral when it comes to undertones, and most of the colors do suit them. And also you can do this with, you know, identifying it with jewelry. If you're somebody who looks nicer in gold jewelry, then you're warm toned. And if you look nice in silver jewelry, then you're cool toned. And again, people who are neutral look can play with mixed metal, and you know, they can play around with rose gold as well. So this is the way you can identify your undertones and play around.
Any particular colors work better for any specific undertones, or it's like a do not use this color predominantly if you have a cool undertone or a warm undertone? Are there any general rules?
So that's what, like I said, every skin tone has its own moment around the right color. So when it comes to a deep brown skin tone, it would look great in burnt orange, really powerful. When it comes to a nice, a warm skin tone, I think a nice emerald green or a nice gold or a nice plum would make it look stunning. If you're cool toned, if you're like a fairer skin tone, then a nice icy blue or a nice warm coral will look great. It would look ethereal. So these are, this is how you should know how to play around your skin tone and make it work for you, rather than, I think a society is concentrating too much on fairness all the time. Even my brides keep asking me, how do I look, 2-3 shades lighter on my wedding day? And I ask them, why? Why can't you just embrace it and make it work for you, So, yeah.
Would I go completely wrong with a particular color? Like if somebody like me, somebody with my skin tone, what is a color I should not go with?
I think a bright orange, a bright yellow, you could work with mustard yellow, burnt orange, you could work with terracotta, you could work with, ochre, you can work with these colors, but
earth colors. Now, like I'm in love with this earth palette.
Earthy. Yeah, the whole shade of mocha mousse is doing the rounds right now. It's very elegant, and I think we've shopped for you as well, that shade, and you love that shade because it looks so natural and radiant on you that
I'm wearing it everywhere.
Yeah,
we'll come to that
confident.
About my wearing the same thing everywhere shortly. But tell me, how did you pick out what you wore today?
I actually picked out a beige linen blazer, a nice jacket, sort of a semi-formal blazer to wear, because I was thinking about you, because I knew you'd wear something very subtle and earthy. But then I said, what, I'm a stylist, and if I don't project that out, it's not true to my personality. This is the real thought I had in my head. And then I thought, what, I want to wear a color because that's what makes me feel confident. That's very true to my personality. And if you notice, I'm wearing padded shoulders because I'm petite. Right? So when I wear a blazer, when I wear a jacket, especially when it has like padded shoulders, it makes me feel more empowered. Especially I'm on a talk like this where I know a lot of people are going to be listening to it, trying to take notes of what I'm talking. They should take me seriously. So, I'm wearing this because I kind of feel it makes me feel more confident of what I'm doing.
I love how you bring the idea of context into clothing.
Yeah.
There are times that I feel like if I want to really feel cheerful, or if I'm like very tired, I've just come back from travel, I invariably hide in a sari. It always works. So people, if I'm wanting to communicate that, okay, I'm in control, sari it is.
Sari it is.
But how mindful are people when they, for example, here you use the whole styling aspect, the whole outfit aspect to signal a particular message, saying like, this is done in a particular way, like a podcast setting is done in a particular way, and therefore here is what I want to signal. How much effort does it take for you to do this mindfully?
I feel like it looks effortless, but it is a lot of effort because I feel like now I have that title attached to me. I'm a stylist and I have to live up to it. There are no days where I can step out, even if I'm casual, my clothes are never not ironed. I'm just giving you an example because this is something I keep in my mind, because I feel like, if people are hiring me to do something, I should live up to that. I cannot put them down. And there are some days when I feel like, I want to take it easy. I just want to step out and what I don't care. There are days like that. But then I'm like, no, I just go back and I change because I feel it should be true to what I'm doing. I'm sure it's the same thing with you with skin and hair and stuff like that, right? Because people look up to you. They look up to not just your, prescriptions, but also to your skin and your hair as well. So same thing, I just feel like I should represent that as to what I'm doing.
I think it's a measure of confidence that, okay, somebody is kind of living the journey, because it takes effort.
It takes a lot of effort
to do something. So then they understand that this effort is doable. So when we actually share it with them, saying like, this is something I'd like for you to consider, why don't you sleep early? Then I'll have to demonstrate it.
Your own personal.
And we keep slipping. We keep slipping, but then
happens every time.
Get back on track. Let us quickly look at what is in for bridal styling this year.
I think going easy on your outfits, something that you can reuse again and again. I feel like there's so much of investment that goes into a wedding, not only in the clothes, the decor, the food and everything. I feel like there's something that you should be able to sort of put into play again, like that could be done with clothes. So I always advise my brides to pick up clothes that are very versatile, number one, which work for them in terms of reusability, and it should never be about which brand you're wearing. although many brides are brand conscious, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be, but I just feel like, you know, it could be a nice percentage ratio of some brands and then some stuff that you can also wear again and again, because some brands are very sort of, you know, you're wearing that brand, and to repeat that, to reuse that becomes challenging, and the amount of money you're investing in that is like, I feel like it's a lot, right? So to be able to reuse something, you know, to buy pieces that the blouse can be used separately, the skirt can be used separately, the cape can be used separately, the dupatta can be used separately, so that is value for money. And for me, that is the advice I give any bride. You know, it's not about which label you're wearing, so I think that should be incorporated in the weddings to come. There shouldn't be a rule of wearing a red or you know, a baby pink or an ivory. It should be what makes you feel. Of course, there are some cultures where you need to wear a certain color. I understand that, but sometimes I think going outside your comfort zone and trying something that feels more personal to you is what brides should do.
What's the wildest you've gone with bridal styling?
I've actually not gone really wild because I have to keep the bride's preference in mind. But I feel like there have been last minute glitches, and those are things that really stress you out. But everything looks seamless on stage, because we have to remember it's real life and not real life, right? With models, and when I style models and celebrities, it's different. We have 1,000 pins at the back, and there's so much happening. You know, all that is okay because it's almost like edited and stuff on camera. But when it comes to a bride, she has to stand on stage, she has to greet guests, she has to bend down. Hours. Yeah, she has to be comfortable. Functional, exactly. So if she's, you know, not looking comfortable, it's going to show on her face, and that's one of the biggest days of her life. So she has to smile with grace and not be, you know, uncomfortable. And then I feel if I'm not doing my job there, then it's like, you know, I'm just like not very happy about it, because it's my job to make her feel comfortable with what she's wearing.
What's a wedding you really enjoyed styling for? Like, was there any out of the box or like road less traveled kind of?
I recently styled a bride. Her wedding's in Feb, but we're done with her styling. We sorted in one day. You won't even believe, half a day. Like, I was so happy because she just believed me and you know, completely trusted my taste and went with what I said, and I feel so happy about it because she never questioned it. She said, yeah, I know this is going to look great on me, and we did it in half day, whereas her wedding is in Feb. We have so much more time, and I was so happy about it, you know. So that's a nice experience I had, because, you know, it's so nice when people trust you and they go with your taste and stuff like that. So
which means in most of these that you do a fair bit of shopping.
Yeah.
So how do you like that?
I enjoy it. When I get back home with my feet like hurting and, you know, my head, you know, going crazy with all the decisions that I have to make with the brides and the kind of questions they ask me, at the end of the day, when I go back home, I'm like very happy with that kind of stress and pain, you know, because I feel I've done something good. When she's trusting me with the biggest day of her life. So, you know, that sort of thing comes with, I feel, that kind of stress, but it's enjoyable.
I'm very happy you like shopping, because I hate shopping.
I know.
I have the story about my own bridal sari where mom-in-law and I had gone, and then we were picking out the saris. I picked out the third sari. I had a pink in mind.
Right.
I picked out the third sari, and I said, okay, that's it. And everybody thought I was upset, or I genuinely didn't want anything else. And they said, why don't you go for something more expensive? Why don't you try? I really did not want to do anything more, because I knew what I wanted, and more importantly, I am very scared of shops where there is a lot of choice. For my ADHD brain, it's overwhelming, and I think we went for one.
Yes, I know. We were in the store for 1.5 minutes and we left.
I basically hid behind you and I said like, okay, I'll come back later. Thank you very much. And I think at some level having a lot of choice confuses me. Everybody was worried that, you know, something is like, I'm unhappy. That my husband took another hour to choose a cream colored
sherwani.
No, dhoti. It's just a dhoti. Nothing unusual. Regular cream top. He took 1.5 hours just to pick something that's probably already done.
Right.
So I think one question the run up to this is always about online versus offline shopping. What do you advise for people who are trying to put together a personal style statement?
Okay, so I feel if you're of the regular body type, then go online. It's okay, it works for you. But if the body type is not the regular body type, then it's important that we do like an offline session for me to understand what exactly your pain points are, where you want to conceal and stuff like that. And that's only possible when I put you in like 10 outfits and ask you to try 10 outfits, come out and show me, you know, those 10 looks, because that's when I'll understand, and later on I can do like an an online consultation. But first time, you know, like a offline consultation is good for not very regular body types. So you can make online also work for you, but then the headache of returns and exchanges and everything is such a pain. So that is something we can avoid. And there are a couple of nice brands online. We live in Chennai, there's not much happening with stores here, is what I feel. There's a lack in that market.
Which is the city that you would really enjoy shopping?
I think for bridal it would be Delhi. And if the bride doesn't have time, then it would be Hyderabad, because
Not Kolkata?
It's there, but I just feel like Delhi is more, it offers a lot more sort of variety in terms of budget. If you have a lesser budget, then there are markets for that. You have a high budget, there are brands for that, you know. So Delhi offers you everything end to end. Of course, the traffic is crazy, but it's worth it, you know, to, you know, step into that place and check it out. If you don't have time, then Hyderabad is great. You have 2 roads, Jubilee, Banjara, and you have everything over there, so you don't have to move out of the place. But if you're looking for smaller designers, more, you know, personal homegrown stuff, then Delhi is a great market.
As far as the brides are concerned, now it's no longer just about one event. There's a set of events, right?
Yes.
There's a lot that needs to be done.
Yes.
Do you see a lot more brides wanting to kind of do it all by themselves, or do you see parents and grandmoms and everybody else? That used to be the thing way back. So how is it now?
So especially for the Muhurtam sari, you have like, I need a yes from 6-7 people. Even if the bride loves the sari, then I need 6 other, you know, the groom, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the mother, the father, and sisters and brothers. So it becomes like really challenging, because, you know, you cannot arrive at that one sari very easily. So there is a huge say from family, especially the immediate family. And sometimes it's nice, it's fun to watch that happen, but sometimes it's very irritating.
Yeah. How about, we're seeing a lot of color themed weddings these days?
Yes.
It was not there in the past. We see that even in our conferences, where this is a day that you wear pink, or do you see this as any kind of cultural change, that everybody is, even for educational conferences now we have a color theme?
Yes, it's nice, but it's also kind of for people who don't have the time. It's kind of taxing, I feel. For brides, it's okay because you have some time to shop. But I feel like you said, for conferences, and when we do shopping for you,
for conclave.
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't have that sort of time, and I know you're really busy and you know, and stuff like that. So I feel like it gets taxing to be able to actually follow, you know, a theme or a dress code. But I don't know, it's fun also, because when you're all photographed together, it's a nice you know, after memory that you have. So yeah.
Swinging right back to personal styling, what would be few things that, say for example, somebody like me should ideally have in their wardrobe?
Yeah, that comes to the point of building a capsule wardrobe, right? A very, very important thing in building a wardrobe is having a solid capsule wardrobe. A capsule wardrobe is nothing but a foundation that, you know, acts as a foundation to build upon other looks. So like, say your 10-15 pieces in your wardrobe should be solid, and it could be a nice pair of denims, it could be a nice crisp shirt, it could be a nice tote bag, a nice pair of sunglasses, a nice watch, for me a nice personal scent, you know, things like that. So it's very personal to each person. And once you have a nice solid capsule wardrobe, which I say cannot be compromised when it comes to quality, because you're going to keep reusing those pieces, then you can sort of build any look. If your denims itself are not something that fit you well, then how can you build 10 other styles? That how can you wear tops that are, even if the tops look great, when you're not confident in those denims, it's not going to work for you. So the capsule wardrobe is very, very important to build your personal style.
For the men?
For the men, it's the same thing. Like, I feel like having a nice solid capsule wardrobe, it could be, men don't really experiment so much.
They're more like it's like styling for me.
Yes, their colors are very limited. There are some men who like to experiment, but majority of men are very, very you know, comfortable in their blues and grays and black, white.
You're seeing the olive green pants and the yellow pants and maybe even the orange pants coming in. Do you see that rarely?
I feel in Chennai, not many men experiment with that. They would wear an orange sweatshirt, or they would do like a watch strap maybe, but they would not really go with orange pants, and you know, they're not there yet. I feel like also Chennai, the fashion scene in Chennai is very like slow. It's like, progresses very slowly, but not complaining, because from where it used to be to where it's come now, there's a great change.
Now, I did not know that you could actually outsource all of your pain points in terms of putting something together so easily. At least, I mean, I do my own things. I think you train me in a particular way and I go buy a bunch of things that you really
Yes.
I haven't really discussed with you.
Yes.
But then I also see that it takes away the stress of having to put together
Yes.
things in a particular way. You basically outsource some level of the stress. How do you see this as among the younger crowd? What's your youngest patient? What's your youngest client?
So I feel like people who are youngest client would be who are getting married. I mean, not many people from college and stuff are into personal style yet, because they're not they don't really have to make impacts at corporate level or serious job spaces. But I did have one person who came to me, and I styled her, I changed her wardrobe, and she told me that I got a promotion because of the way I dressed up and the way I showed up at office. And that made me feel so good, because she also got a photo shoot done after that, because she felt so confident in those clothes. And she was first, like I mentioned earlier, like people wait to go to the gym, lose weight, and then come back. It's the reverse way. But this led her to a gym, this led her to a nutritionist, this led her to do a photo shoot, and she also got a promotion. So I felt really great, the kind of impact she had. She was my youngest client. She is my youngest client. So that made me feel good.
And the other extreme,
those are mothers of the brides and fathers of the brides and stuff. They are not very, they're very easy to work with. And once you get comfortable with them and build that rapport, you understand they don't want to experiment too much in terms of color and stuff. So that it's easier to work with them.
In terms of corporate styling or in terms of personal styling, what's a challenge, especially when you see that it's impossible to wear multiple different outfits?
Yeah.
I know about the capsule wardrobe, but there are times that you really have to be reasonably differentiated.
Yes.
I love wearing the same thing everywhere. I pick probably 3 outfits in the same color from the same brand, so it's just easy for me that at any given time there is something I can pick and run out with.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you want to distinguish yourself with a sense of style, it's not feasible to rack up a lot. So would you recommend people stick to certain brands which always work for them? Like I love wearing Uniqlo everywhere.
Yes.
It is a no-brainer. It's just 2 minutes to pick up something. Do you have certain brands that people can easily fall back on? Or
there is, I really like Zara, I like H&M, I like Mango. Uniqlo is great. We don't have a store in Chennai, but we can shop online. So these are stores that Massimo Dutti, these are nice brands that make you feel confident, because the fabric is great, and you know that you're going to fit into the standard sizes of S, M, L or XL. So they work great for you in terms of, they're not very expensive on your pocket. They don't like really burn a hole, so they can be used again and again and stuff like that. I feel like if a person is trying to create something, like have a standard sort of style and want to be like recognized with that style, then customizing is also a great option. Like we live in Chennai, we can't work with heavy fabrics and stuff, so customizing a set of linens, nice linen quad sets. When you wear a quad set, your decision making process is halved, because you don't have to really wonder what to wear at the bottom or the top. So it's a quad set. You can wear it with different jewelry or different bags and whatever, sunglasses, and make it look really different every time. So getting, I think a pair of nice linen quads customized in different colors is also a great idea for people who are bored wearing the same brands that are available here. So that's something I advise people to do. There are so many nice colors available in linen, right? And also very comfortable.
I think any fabric that's either linen or cotton feels very good on the skin.
Yes, especially for Chennai.
Especially for Chennai, and in general for sensitive skin also. While I feel that they wear out much more faster. It's also that synthetic clothes, after a point in time, have a lifetime advantage over cotton and linen.
True.
Because they really last for that long.
Correct.
They have an advantage. But in general, we say, wear skin-friendly fabric.
Yes.
So, do you have any other indie brand recommendations for, say, outside of this? Do you have any other indie brands that are really, really good, that really appealed to you?
I think if it comes to sari, Suta is a nice brand. It's very comfortable. It's very again, pocket friendly. People love the brand. There's a brand called True Browns, which is really nice. The styles are very nice, and it gives you that sort of space to style, because it's very simple stuff. The colors are very muted, so you can style a lot. Again, value for money. House of It is good. These are nice brands that you can invest in.
It's November now, so everybody would be thinking about travel.
Yes.
Tell us about travel styling.
People have to remember that they have to come back to Chennai. So investing in too many jackets is going to be like a waste of, I think, investment. So I think investing in a nice, good quality puffer jacket, because it's winters now. So a puffer jacket is always a great idea. Having a nice denim jacket or a light jacket or a cardigan or like a dinner jacket, which can be doubled up, like a double layer sort of a thing. So these are all good investments that can be used as a blazer. Then you can wear a nice black dress, which can also be used later on. Then a nice pair of denims, a nice pair of thermals, of course, and then a nice shirt.
Yeah, thermals is a different game altogether.
Yeah.
We'd recently gone to see the Northern Lights last year. And I realized like how much ever you're prepared.
Yeah, you're not prepared.
You're not prepared enough.
Yeah.
So for travel at least. And in general, people try to travel light. So outside of these basic pieces, do you generally have any brands that you recommend for travel specifically? Maybe to colder places.
Columbia is a nice brand.
Columbia is what at least it's the gold standard at this point.
Yeah, it's really nice. Superdry also has some good quality jackets, puffer jackets, which really help you against the the cold. But of course, there are extreme levels. If there are extreme levels of cold, it's better to go shop abroad. I don't recommend people buying Indian brands, because these brands will work for the Indian sort of, or to
winter.
Some level of winter, yeah. But if you're actually traveling to the Northern Lights or places that are that level of temperature, then buying brands from abroad is better, and it makes more sense. So it's an investment, I feel.
An important part of wardrobe is the accessory set.
Yes.
Can you give us some tips on how to accessorize ourselves?
Again, based on personality, based on lifestyle, where you're most seen. If your job is more like a creative person, then of course you can, invest in bolder accessories, brighter colored bags and shoes, because their reusability again, increases there. But of course, if it's like a setting like this, if you're a doctor, if you're going to a clinic, then 60% of your wardrobe should work for you in terms of what you're wearing to a clinic. 30% should be, say, conferences, podcasts, social media appearances, and 10 should be outside of work, right? So keeping that in mind, you buy your accessories, because this is just going to be lying in your house, not doing anything. So I'd say like a nice bag. The size again depends on the person's use. Like for me, I don't like big bags. I don't fit my laptop in it. Max would be a book, a small notebook, a journal. But I know people who travel a lot with their laptops and books and a lot of their whole house in it.
I need
You're
to
that
transport
person.
my entire world with me when I'm
I know.
traveling. So yes.
Yeah.
I'm probably about 50% there. There are friends of mine, colleagues of mine who can fish out an end. I mean, you could cook with what you could cook for a couple of people with what they carry, and somehow I feel like they're so well prepared. It's second nature for us to turn to them and ask, like, do you have
this?
Do you have this? Do you have that?
Yeah.
Invariably, that's almost like there's a bag in Harry Potter where you can take it.
Everything.
It's like that. It's like that.
Yeah. So again, like, so a nice quality.
Compartments are a big deal. There has to be multiple compartments inside a bag. Otherwise, you fish for keys, this, that.
It's all lost and your time is wasted.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are also brands who make these compartments and these kind of bags that you can fit inside your bags. That you can compartmentalize.
I'd pick a Michael Kors over a Coach. Primarily for
the size of it.
I like a brand called Dagny Dover. Somebody gifted it to me right after I had my child. It had multiple compartments, and I was so thrilled to travel with something like that, because you could literally fit a nursery in there. And I think the closest that we have is to Michael Kors, or compared to a Coach even, because this has more. You could zip. At least the laptop compartments and other things. So you feel like, okay, I can.
Everything is here.
Everything is here, and you can travel, frequent travel. It helps a lot. Do you have any preference in terms of colors when it comes to what do you match with what? Do you match your shoes with your clothes? Do you match your shoes with your bag? How does the accessorizing go?
Okay, so I pick out like a color from my clothes to match my shoes and my bags and stuff. I don't go too matchy. I feel like I mean, we're not there now. Earlier, it used to be like that, matching your shoes and your belt. And for men, yes, matching your shoes and belt is still something that they could do. It matters. It does matter because that's the only accessories they wear, right? I mean, there's nothing much for women. There's so much more. There are hair accessories. There are nice earrings and necklaces that you can wear. So for me, it's about picking out a color, or everything probably going in harmony. Like if I'm wearing jewelry that is yellow toned gold, then I would wear shoes that are gold. If it's rose gold, then I would go with shoes like that are rose gold. Like today I'm wearing rose gold jewelry, so my shoes are rose gold, right? So you can also pick out accessories to match your footwear and stuff like that. So a little bit of harmony, a little bit of sync is important. I mean, I would also experiment with contrasting colors because I know I can do that. But if you're beginning your style journey, then I think
I
going
will
easy.
Get there in 200 years.
Let's do it together. Yeah, I thought at least 100.
No, I used to find it very easy to wear black and white for the longest period of my, I think at least from 35 to 40, 41, I was completely in black, white, grey.
Right.
It works so very well. And then again for the last 2-3 years I've mostly been in blues, which is I really like the formal blue. I just
ink blue or royal blue.
The ink blue, more like a blue black. I think that's an amazing color that works so well, even if you sometimes are in a confusion about, will it look too formal if I wear black, or will it look not formal enough? And then this navy blue or the dark blue it's really fantastic. And maybe in the last 1 year, I've fallen in love with a little bit of yellow. Now, because everything about chosen branding is red, I'm trying to experiment a little bit with red. But otherwise, I'm happiest in black. Don't think twice, just pick up the black and keep going. So that's something that
easy works for
easy,
you.
yes. And I pick everything from the same collection if it's the same
I'm
color.
very much aware. And that's the first time when I met you and you told me that, I was like, wow, the brand is so lucky. They're making so much business.
Now you said you read about people like me, and the first time you're saying that people have the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I mean, I know you do it because, it cuts down that decision-making fatigue for you, and you can concentrate on things that are more important. But yeah, I mean, it's nicer to see you in different sort of attires
I'm a good student. I try.
Yeah, you're a very, very good student, and like you've picked very well, and yeah.
And what has been, I know I've been a reasonable challenge, but what's been a bigger challenge? What's been a client that has been like, you really had to work hard to get them to follow a particular way?
I feel like there was a client who was very set with what she wanted, and I told her it will not suit you because it's not going to work with the body type and so many other things. But then it was a wedding outfit and it actually came across, and then it didn't work well. And then, she was like, I didn't envision it this way. I said, see, it's too late now. We have to work with what we have. We made it work in the end. Like, to the other person, it looked seamless, but I knew what had to go through because, that's what I said. When you're a certain body type, it's okay. But when you're of a different body type, then you need to work on these things. You cannot just see a model wearing something and say, I want to wear the same thing. It's not going to work on you, right? You have to be a little reasonable about these things. So we had to tweak things and make it work, but it was challenging because I was scared. It's her wedding day. What if some malfunction happens during the event at the stage, then it's also my name associated with it. So it was challenging, but I was like, okay, at the end we were fine.
And you spoke about this malfunction now. What are the common things that people can, carry with them to fix stuff quickly?
So don't underestimate the power of a safety pin. It's very, very important. I think it saved me in so many places. And I feel like nowadays Zepto and Swiggy, Blinkit and stuff has fashion tapes, nipple pads, they have body tapes. So these are things that, I feel you should invest in because it saves you, especially if you're someone who experiments a lot with style, wears stuff that need these kind of things in your wardrobe.
Or if you're in recorded events where you really can't go back and fix stuff.
So Zepto has it all. So don't panic. If you ever are in a situation, you can just order it online, like fashion tapes and all these things. They really help you. when you're really in desperate times, you know. So yeah.
Personal styling is such a vast topic. I know there are guidelines out there, recommendations out there. We touched upon a bunch of topics that may feel, okay, this I can do, this I cannot, but at the end of the day, it is you who need to feel connected deeply to the sense of who you are projecting yourself out to be. In that regard, we hope this discussion was helpful to you. Thank you so much for being here and answering all my questions
Thank you,
patiently,
Doctor.
Mehndi. Really appreciate this.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. And if you have questions on this topic, put them down and we will discuss. I will see you soon and you take care.